You're watching Poland Daily Business, and Jack Buckby of London is our guest, sir. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
Well, you came to Poland not that often, so the things are new for you. What struck you? What was different than expectations?
Well, I came here specifically focusing on the young people of Poland. In the UK, the youth are extremely, well, they're not conservative, put it that way. They're quite left-wing. Only 2% are connected with the national church, whereas here, fundamentally different. We know that the polls show over 60% of young people are voting conservatively, and the people I've met here are very tied to their national identity and their religion. I think that's beautiful.
That's because we are so backwards.
That's certainly what the British press say. That's why I'm here, to dispel that.
And are we backwards?
No, in fact, you know, I'm quite considering moving here. It feels not like this is a place of normality, of conservative values and family and faith and tradition, and the UK is quickly becoming insane.
But we are lacking political correctness, for example.
Which is why Poland's so great.
Okay, but why the political correctness is wrong?
Well, it's making a lot of people very on edge in England. People are being imprisoned for things they say on Twitter, which makes people quite concerned about what they can and can't say, to the point where even some people who are very, very PC are getting in trouble with the police as well. A famous comedian in the UK who's been very, very pro-PC was just cautioned by the police the other day for transphobia comments online. It's quickly becoming a place where you feel like you have to whisper.
Okay, the freedom of speech, one of the basic liberties of the liberal society, is being endangered in the West?
Absolutely. And when you try and talk about very real issues in the UK, the presence of extremist Islam, mass immigration, if you try and talk about these things, many people simply get thrown behind bars.
So is there any explanation why is the British society or British authorities reacting like that?
A couple of things. It's successive governments that have been moving increasingly to the left, which is what I worry about could happen in Poland. I worry about a conservative government moving left on some issues, because that's what happened in the UK. Yeah, it's quite a terrifying state of affairs.
The left is also in very good relationships with Islam, which is strange because Islam is conservative, family. Right. I will not touch the issues of homosexuals in Islam and so on. Yet the left is happy with it and cooperating.
I wrote a book about exactly that, the cooperation between the left and Islam in England, and it's so prevalent, specifically in the Labour Party. And what's interesting with Labour, which is extremely far left, socialist, they have a huge presence of Islamists within the party. And they have quite a great deal of control within that party, and now it's being exposed that the Labour Party is increasingly anti-Semitic. And the reason why is there are fewer Jews and more Muslims in the UK. So the Labour Party and the socialists and the far left are pandering to the Muslim vote because that's what gives them power in elections.
But the British Islam or Muslims are productive part of the society. They contribute to everyone else. Is that true?
No, a majority of British Muslim women in particular are unemployed, and a significantly higher proportion of Muslim men in the UK are unemployed too. Many good Muslims, but a large percentage not. And there's some quite radical mosques in the UK funded by Saudi, which are not so great either.
There is this famous preacher, Islamic preacher, that's...
Anjem Chowdhury.
Right. He's released from the prison?
He'll be coming out this month. I started a petition, actually, jailanjem.com. I'm actually doing a petition and taking it to the government about this. They're freeing him this month, which is quite terrifying. He's connected to multiple terror attacks in the UK.
But he's just preaching.
Well, exactly. He's using his freedom of speech, they say. He's not doing it himself, but he's inspired multiple terror attacks. His own disciples went out onto the street and beheaded one of our soldiers in London.
That was almost 10 years ago,
yeah.
But it's still...
Since then, the London Bridge attack, one of his disciples committed that attack as well.
So the terror in Britain is a very real thing.
Yes.
Jack Buckby of London and the United Kingdom, a conservative journalist, was our guest, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much
for coming here. Thank you very much for sharing the stories, and we will be in touch with this sooner or later. That was it for tonight's Poland Daily Business.